So today I would like to share some information about what we are doing in EHP um, scanning and experiment in universities of Yangon and as well as departments of fisheries, aquatic animal health divisions in Myanmar. So I'm Kay Lwin Tun. It already introduced. I am professor of fisheries and aquaculture, universities of Yangon. Um, As you know, there is a lot of water resources in Myanmar that is including the riverine system, coastal line system, and inland freshwater pond. That water resources give favorable conditions for Myanmar to develop fisheries and aquaculture settings. So to do so, because of that favorable condition, Myanmar is one of the 30 biggest aquaculture and fishery producer in the world. And here you can see the Myanmar is one 13 largest aquaculture and fisheries producer in the world. So what are the most aquaculture and fisheries species in Myanmar is that the most culturable species in Myanmar are rohut, that is a kind of catfish, and the second biggest one is shrimp. In this shrimp, that's all included the fresh waters and marine shrimp, and the incomes from the aquaculture and fishery setters. The shrimp is the second highest values and income for the country in aquaculture and fisheries production. So since Myanmar is a developing country in some area, the aquaculture and fisheries and shrimp culturing methods are reliant on the extensive farm system. In extensive farm system, shrimp larvae directly came to the earthen pond that is located nearly into the mangrove area, and the earthen pond has been closed with, they call the salute gate, and they store the shrimp larvae for 3 to 6 months before harvesting. So almost all shrimp farms are extensive in Myanmar, but now there's a lot of intensive farm has been developed in Myanmar. During the democratic government, they are trying to develop the extensive farm to intensive farm because they want to increase the fisheries and aquaculture producing in the world. So in intensive farm, there is a very similar intensive farming systems in Indonesia and Thailand, and some farms are trying to change from extensive farm to intensive farm. So what we need, when we change the extensive to intensive farm is we need a lot of shrimp post larvae to introduce in the farm. When we see the species that culture in Myanmar is that in Rakhine area that is near to the Bangladesh and India and near to Andaman Sea, the most cultured species are Pandias monodon tiger and Banami shrimp. In Yangon and Aori, that is the delta regions of Myanmar, and the most culturable species are Microbranchia rosenbergi, freshwater shrimp, and Banami for marine shrimp. In the southern part of Myanmar, near the Thailand border, almost all shrimp farms are Leptopandias banami. In near the Thailand border, a lot of shrimp farms are changing from the extensive to intensive farming system. Universities of Yangon Fisheries and Aquaculture is working together with the departments of fisheries, aquatic animals, health divisions, and we can diagnostics and 8 kinds of OIE listed shrimp diseases, and including EHP to test in Yangon. But there is only 2 stations in Myanmar that can test for the EHP diseases. So since 2017 to 2021, as part of the project and as part of the research of our Fisheries and Aquaculture Department is working on the scannings of shrimp diseases in Myanmar. So here I want to report about the diseases of EHP prevalence in Myanmar. We collect the shrimp sample, Rakhine area that is indicated by the purple ball, and Ayeyarwady indicated by red ball, and Yangon indicated by a green ball, and Tanyinai indicated by pink. So here we collect three different shrimp species. One is Panami, and second one is Monodon, and the third one is Microbranchium rosenbergi freshwater shrimp. For freshwater shrimp, we collect only in Yangon area because Yangon area is they have a freshwater and marine sources, so a lot of freshwater shrimp hatchery located in Yangon. In Rakhine, there is a lot of culture farm for the tiger shrimp, so that we call it the monodon from the Rakhine area. So a total of 125 samples from the wild meat we collect directly from the mangrove forest or the riverbank near the shrimp farm. And we also collected 160 samples from the culture farm. So we examine both wild situations and culture situations of shrimp for EHP distributions in Myanmar. So according to the reference, Tun 2016, we extract the DNA and working with PCR and scanning for EHP, including a PL and as well as for the broodstock. For the broodstock, we collect from the hatchery, and we sometimes we collect the feces of the shrimp for DNA extraction. So according to the result, there is no EHP was detected in wild area. It means all 4 states in Myanmar, we do not have any positive EHP result from the wild. But however, in the culture farm, we have found 2 positive areas. That one is the Ayeyarwady Delta, and the another is the freshwater shrimp, Microbranchium rosenbergi PL. So now we are working for the publication together with Universities of Arizona, Aquaculture Pathology Level 3. So here is the graph, what we can see. And one, we are working on the sampling from 2017 to 2021 until January last month. So since 2017 and 2019, we haven't detected an EHP in our country. However, in the beginnings of 2020, actually September 2019, we have detected the first EHP samples in Myanmar. Now we are working on, because of the COVID-19 situation, we haven't done the sequencing for the EHP that recorded in Myanmar. Now we are working on histopathology and sequencing for EHP result in Myanmar. So it's been, according to the result, we are still have 2 states, Rakhine state near the India and Bangladesh border, and one more state near Tanyinai state near the Thailand border. There is still a negative, totally negative for EHP in our country. However, we detect the 2 states, Yangon and Ayeyarwady, detected for the EHP. So that 2 areas, Rakhine and Tanyinai, the border area, is very important to take care on the biosecurity of our country. The most issue in our country about the EHP is we do not have enough shrimp hatchery in our country. For example, for freshwater shrimp, we have only 10 to 5 hatchery to support the farmer, and we can produce only 17 to 18 million PL for the shrimp farm. Similarly, in the marine hatchery, we have 4 to 5 hatchery all over the country, and we can produce only 90 to 100 million PL for the farmer. So what is the problems we are facing in our country? We have, as I mentioned in my previous slide, we have a lot of area want to change from the extensive to intensive farming system. But the problem is we do not have enough supply for the post larvae. So that's why farmers are trying to introduce the post larvae from the neighboring country through the borderline, because there is no balance between supplies and demands of the peel for the aquaculture area. Because of the insufficient human resources and as well as for the laboratory condition, as I mentioned, we have only two locations to identify the species, to identify the EHP in the shrimp farming. There is two, all two stations is in Yangon. So, however, Myanmar has a bordering with 5 nations, and especially in Rakhine, we are bordering with India and Bangladesh. In Tanina, we are bordering with Thailand. Along that border area, we have 26 border gates to need to scanning the aquatic animal disease when the peel is imported to Myanmar. However, Departments of Fishery is trying to implement the policies of the live animal into Myanmar. Only one quarantine checkpoint is available in Yangon at Yangon International Airport. So in the future, the risk of shrimp disease from the importing of peels and broodstock from the border area will be a consideration issue for Myanmar, and we need to increase the biosecurity of the shrimp hatchery as well as for shrimp farmers, and we need to give awareness to the shrimp farmer who want to introduce the peel to their fund. So departments of fisheries as well as university which are located near the border areas need technology supports and collaborated research to increase the biosecurity of the culture farmers who are located in the border area. So that is I would like to give the information about the Myanmar, and all activity we are conducting here is supported by USAID, GIZ, MySub Project, European Union, the Universities of Tokyo, and the Universities of Arizona Aquaculture Pathology Lab. Thank you, and here is the email available, and if you have any more information, please contact me. Thank you.